working as an assistant professor in Malani Perumal Education Society's Puladigunta, right? Okay. Now today's the topic is we are dealing with the subject machine learning, and the topics we are going to cover was concept learning and handling more than 2 classes in machine learning, right? First, let us know about the concept of concept learning. What is the meaning of concept? Nothing but a mathematical formula. Based on the mathematical formula, on the given inputs, we predict the output. Okay, let's see this by example. And this is the example for the concept learning. And let's see here. Sky, air temperature, humidity, wind, water, and forecast. These were all the 6 features. Okay, and every features have 2 values. Sky has a value of sunny and rainy. Air temp feature has a value of warm and cold. Humidity has a value of normal and high. Wind has a value of only strong, and water has a value of warm and cool. Forecast has a value of same and change. So within these 6 features, all the values has the 5 features has 2 values. Only the feature wind consists of only 1 value. And based on the values of these 6 features, we'll predict the output whether we can enjoy the sport or not. Okay, this is the output to enjoy sport based on the 6 features, and all the features have 2 values rather than other than wind, right? Okay, let us see how we will based on this diagram we'll form a concept and we'll predict the output. Okay, I have written like this. We have 6 features and each has 2 values. Okay, based on the values of 2 features we'll be predicting the output, right? Okay, next, here in the table I have written features and then values. So in sky we have in sky feature we have 2 values. In air temperature feature we have 2 values. So I have written every feature and the values they have. So other than wind, all the other features have 2 values, and based on the values of these features we will predict the result whether we will enjoy the sport or not, right? Next, this is for, so before going how we will predict the result, this is the example for you. So please, based on the values of these features, predict what will be the enjoy and what will the output, that is enjoy sport. Okay, so before leaving this concept, let us see how we will predict for your reference. Okay, see here given in the sky we have 2 values, rainy and sunny. In the air temperature feature we have 2 values, warm and cold. So we know under the, I have written above are the feature and underneath where their values. See here, this is 0 and 1. I have assumed this 0 and 1 for particular feature values. Okay, we can assume rainy as 1 or sunny. Just why I have assumed this numerical value means, see here, they will give the input values or the feature input values are 1 0 1 1 0, and we have to predict the end. That means the machine learning algorithm should predict the output whether we enjoy the sport or not. So 1 means in your given table what is the order of features given. So in this order only we should analyze these given numericals. See, 1 0 1 1 0 1 means 1 means that is related to in sky. So 1 means here sunny, right? Next feature is in the table in air temperature 0. 0 means the value is warm. Okay, I think you are understanding. Next 1. Next is in humidity, 1 means high. 1 means high. Okay. Next 1. In wind, 1 means strong. Okay. Next, in water 0 means cool. Next 1. In forecast 1 means change. Okay, means, see, I have written these values here. Means for the given input feature values, if it was given binary like this, this means the feature values are like, we have to write like this. And how can I say enjoy sport is yes? Please see, how can I say enjoy sport is yes? For that we have to refer the given table. So So my input was sunny, warm, high, strong, cool change. For that, the output is we will enjoy sport, yes or not? Yes. Such that your machine learning algorithm, based on the given features and its values, it predicts the output. So how can we say that machine learning algorithms predict the future correctly or not, right? By using we have to write the test cases and we have to execute it manually or by using automation. And for this result to store, we will use a testing tools like Jefferscale and TFS. TFS is nothing but Team Foundation Server. Okay, this is about the concept learning. So, sir, I have a doubt. What is the concept here? So, concept means mathematical formula. That mathematical formula is nothing but sunny, warm, high, strong, cool change. Based on this mathematical formula was found by the given features and its values. So this concept is nothing but mathematical. Here the mathematical formula found by is this is the mathematical formula. Based on the concept, we are predicting the output. This is nothing about the concept called concept learning. Okay. Next, we'll see the topic of handling more than two classes. So to handle more than two classes, we have two methods, one versus rest and one versus one. Okay. So we have two concepts, one versus one and one versus rest. Now let us see about what is the implementation using the method one versus one. Okay. See here in the implementation in one versus one method will be, see here we have three classes. Please see here we have three classes. Okay, we have to paid two classes and we have to ignore one class, any class. We given three classes, we should pay two classes and ignore one class. Here first I am pairing C1 C2 class, I am ignoring class C3. So the classes which was paid, one was given as a positive and one should be given as a negative, and ignored class should be given a value of 0. So here we consider positive as +1 and negative as -1 and ignored class was 0. Okay, please understand. In another step, I am pairing out of C1 classes C1, C2, C3, I am pairing C2, C3 classes and I am ignoring class C1. So please say, now let us say the paired class will have one class will have positive value and one class will have negative value, and the ignored class C1 will have a 0 value, right? Next, in the next step, I am pairing C1 and C3 and ignoring C2. So C1 will have a value of +1 and C3 will have a value of -1 and ignored class C2 will have a value of 0. Okay, so how I got the values of C1 and C2 and C3 from this assumption, I think you understood, right? Then from these constructed assumptions, we should draw the symmetric and asymmetric matrix. Symmetric means, see here, by the first assumption, we got the values for C1 +1, C2 +3 and C3 0. Please write this in the first column. So do you understand how the values of first column we got in the symmetric matrix? The values we are obtained above. Next column will be the values of these +1, +1, 0 and -1. So next I have taken this. The art is not important. Okay, we should take the columns as we obtain the value from the above. So see here, C1 +1, C2 0 and C2 -1. I have written this column in the row. And next 0 +1 and -1. See here, C1 0, C2 +1, C3 -1. So do you understand how these the values are columns in the symmetric matrix I have written? These values I have obtained from the above and I have written them as a column in the symmetric matrix. Okay, from the symmetric matrix we have to construct the asymmetric matrix. Please here, nothing is very simple here. From the symmetric matrix I will write the same column as it is. Okay, in the next So the next column beside was obtained from this by changing the signs, of the value. If I have +1, we'll write -1 here. If I have -1, I will write +1 here. There will be no change for 0. Okay. I think how I wrote these two columns from the symmetric matrix. Okay. Then next take second column from the symmetric matrix, +1, 0, -1, +1, 0, -1. So in the next, what we have to write? We have just changed the values of, change the sign of the values prior. So +1, I am writing -1, 0 will be no change, and -1 I will be writing as +. Okay. Next, I will go to the symmetric matrix back and take this column. I am writing here 0 +1 -1, 0 +1 -1 I wrote here, right? So how the next column will be obtained? By just changing the signs of the prior column. 0 will be 0 and +1 will become -1 and -1 will become +1. This is how we construct symmetric and asymmetric matrix using the concept called 1 versus 1 in multi-class handling. Next was 1 versus rest. See here, the concept will be little bit change here from 1 versus 1 to 1 versus rest. Here same, we will have 3 classes, namely C1, C2 and C3, right? So here, see here, we are considering only one class, and rest we will consider only one class as one, and we will consider all other classes as rest. That is the justification for the topic 1 versus rest. See here. So the class which we consider as 1 is taken as a positive. Positive means +1, and the rest we have left classes, right? C2 and C3. We will have a negative. Will give a negative value, and we consider negative value as -1. Okay. So see here, I am obtaining the values of C1 and C2 before, but the strategy will be different. Next, I am considering C2 is one class and the rest as other class. And here I am considering C2 is one class and C1 and C2 are the rest. So the class which I consider as one will be given a positive value. Positive means +1. The rest C1 and C3 will be given as a negative value. That means we consider it at a -1. So in the next step, I am considering C3 as one class and C1, C2 are the rest classes. So the one class which I consider will be given as a positive, and that will be +1. Okay. The rest classes we are considered as C1 and C2, that will be negative, and the value will be -1. So as I told before, I will construct the symmetric matrix because by using 3 ways I have obtained the value of C1, C2 and C3. So +1, -1, -1. From this first assumption, I have written this row written this column +1, -1, -1. Because C2 and C3 are rest means both C2 and C3 will get a negative value, and negative will consider as -1. I think all of you understand how I have written this column. Next column is C1 -1, C2 +1 and C3 -1, right? I think you understand how I got this column for the symmetric matrix. Then the values are C3 means -1, -1 and +1. So I have constructed this symmetric matrix from the values obtained for C1 and C2 and C3 by different approaches. Okay. Next, I think you understand how I got this symmetric matrix. As soon as I already told one versus one concept, the same we construct a asymmetric matrix from the constructed symmetric matrix. Please see here, I am taking first column from the symmetric matrix +1, -1, -1, and I will obtain the next column from the prior column by changing just the values by just the signs of the values +1, -1, -1, +1 and -1, +1. Next, I will import the second column from symmetric matrix to here. See here, -1, -1, +1, -1. Okay, and I will get this column from this prior column by changing the just signs of the value -1, +1, +1, -1, -1, +1. Okay. Next, I am importing the last column from the symmetric matrix, -1, -1, +1, and I will get this column based on the prior column by just changing the signs of the values, -1, +1, -1, +1, +1, -1. These are the symmetric and asymmetric matrix obtained from the values obtained for C1, C2, and C3 above. This is so in the concept called handling more than two classes, we'll use two methods, one versus one and one versus rest, and we'll construct for both symmetric and asymmetric matrix in the way I have explained. Okay, okay. Then thank you for my management, HOD sir, Dean sir, and principal sir for giving this opportunity. For any queries or doubts, you can comment on my YouTube link. Then I will have more. I will get in touch with more examples and more videos. And thank you. Bye bye. Thank you.